Hello and welcome to a scorching hot Sunday edition of Cracking the Cryptic. It is boiling here in the UK. I can hardly believe it after the weather we've had for basically the last 9 months. So it's fabulous. But that means that my attic stroke office where I record these videos is actually quite warm today. So I hope this puzzle won't cause my brain to fry. It is called Mystery Killer Primes, and it's by Shintaro Fushida-Hardy. And this has come to us unusually via Reddit. And apparently it was published on Reddit, and people loved it on Reddit, and it's been picked up by some people who watch the channel, many of whom have submitted it to us and said, look, we really must have a look at this. Apparently it's not too difficult, but it is lovely and something of a discovery. So yeah, it's a debut for Shintaro, and I'm looking forward to having a go at it. The rule set's really simple, and you can see it's quite a small grid, and I can hear that Maverick has taken off, so we're about to get buzzed by a low-flying aeroplane, and I apologise if you can hear the noise on your headphones or speakers. Now, what do I have to tell you about today? Well, we published earlier on a bonus video which was a crossword solve where I had a go at a puzzle that was created by Steve Pemberton, who is a very well-known sort of comedian, writer, actor here in the UK. If you've ever watched a TV show called Inside Number 9, you will know of whom I speak. And Steve was on another show, Taskmaster, recently, where he revealed that he'd set that day's Guardian crossword, and he even included with, I don't want to spoil it too much, but the puzzle he created was very relevant to that episode of Taskmaster, and it's wonderful. It's a really, really quality crossword. So if you enjoy cryptic crosswords at all, or just words at all, please do check that video out. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. It really is lovely. Now, next, some of you have been asking whether Mark and I are going to return and attempt to finish off the last few puzzles of the game Dungeons and Diagrams, which we were streaming. Why did we stop streaming? Was it Easter? Did that stop the streaming? It may have been Easter. We were streaming it before Easter. We haven't returned to it since, but we will. We think this Wednesday at 10 o'clock UK time. We'd love to have your company for that, a new gaming stream. And then I've got some birthdays to talk about. Oh, well, no, birthdays and other announcements. In fact, I'll start with Ashley. Ashley, your friend Emma wrote to us. Now, Emma's still in South Africa, but Ashley, if I'm not mistaken, you are arriving in the UK today to work as a physiotherapist. And, well, your friend Emma wrote us an absolutely amazing email about what a wonderful friend you are, Ashley. And I was tickled by the story of Emma's parents. Emma's parents apparently are they are sudoku addicts, and they race on sudokus daily against each other. And they told Emma's boyfriend that if he ever wanted to ask for her hand in marriage, he would have to defeat them in a sudoku race. So Ashley took it upon herself to train Emma's boyfriend. Now, I don't know whether the training has worked yet, but I think it's superb that Ashley is even undertaking it at all. And Ashley is arriving in the UK. You'll find us Brits hopefully good company, Ashley. I think in general we're a good lot. And I wish you all the best settling here. And thank you, Emma, for writing to us. Now, more conventional shout-outs. Let's go for Charlie over there in New York City. Your friend Maria in Puerto Rico wrote to us to say, could we wish you a happy birthday? And could I tell you to stop eating straight-up hot sauce and eat chocolate cake instead? Well, I could tell you that. Does that mean hot chocolate sauce, or is hot sauce like chili sauce? You can't eat chili sauce. Well, you could, but that wouldn't be very nice. Charlie, I hope you have chocolate cake for your birthday. If you're in New York, there's a lot of good places to get chocolate cake, so no excuses. Next, Harry. Harry, you've turned 25 today, and I know this because your girlfriend Ruby wrote to us. And it's rather lovely. The two of you apparently make cryptic crosswords as presents for each other on each other's birthdays. That is fabulous. And Harry, apparently you're a bit afraid of Sudoku though, so you haven't yet been persuaded to cut your teeth on Sudoku. Well, try this one. Try this one today, and you may suddenly get the bug. And happy birthday. Next, Keith. Keith's turned 76 today, and Keith, we owe you a huge thank you for being one of our most generous supporters. And yes, so thank you, Keith. I hope you have a brilliant 76th birthday. I know you were a language arts teacher for 46 years, and today you're going to the Counter Cafe in Austin, Texas for grilled quail and spinach salad. That sounds extremely nice. And Keith, many happy returns. Then Kirsty, you've turned 30 today over there in Adelaide. Today. Well, it's today for you, isn't it? Your birthday is the 13th, which is tomorrow, but by the time this video comes out in Australia, it will appear to be tomorrow. And you're having a party on the 18th, so in not many days' time, and you asked me to tell you which chocolate cake you should get. Now, this is one chocolate cake. That looks nice, but I have to tell you, this thing, that looks superb. So I would go for the double choc mud cake. That looks a lot of calories. Fantastic. And Kirsty, happy birthday, and I hope you have a great party. And then finally, Matt. Matt from your girlfriend Jessica. I think it's your girlfriend. It could be wife. It could be partner. I'm not sure. But I know that Jessica missed your birthday, which was exactly a month ago, and so she was asking if I could wish you a sort of happy birthday belated by a month today. And she wanted me to tell you that she loves you and wishes you the same joy in every moment of your day that you get from doing these puzzles, which is, I think, a lovely sentiment. So, Matt, happy belated birthday. Shout out to Caspian, too, who wrote us a kind email. And that is the news. So let's get on with seeing what the rules are of Mystery Killer Primes by Shintaro Fushida-Hardy. These are the very short rules. Each row and column contains the digits from 1 to 5 once each. The digits in each cage sum to a prime number, but no two cages sum to the same prime. So if that cage sums to 15 isn't prime. What are you talking about, man? Let's say that cage sums to I'm trying to work out what's an actual possible total for that. Let's just go 17. If that cage sums to 17, then no other cage could sum to 17. Now, yeah, the reason I'm just... Yeah, because we can repeat digits in cages here. Because the final rule is digits in a cage may repeat. And that's throwing me a bit in terms of what the possible totals are for these cages. Because obviously, normally, if we're playing Killer Sudoku, these digits would all have to be different. But here, those two digits could be the same. And therefore, I mean, if they were double 5 and that was 3... they would add to 13, so you could get 13 out of a 3-cell cage, which feels a bit strange in a 5x5 grid. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, the first thought I'm having here is a sort of factorization thought, in the sense that I do, or I can calculate at least, what the whole grid sums to, because every row must have the digits 1 to 5 once each in them. Each row sums to 15. The triangular number for 5, it's got to be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So each row sums to 15. There are 5 rows, so that's 75. So right, so how many cages are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm actually going to do that again, just to double check, because if I make a mistake with this, all sorts of conclusions could be drawn, which wouldn't be valid. I get 7 again. Okay, so 75 is the total, and there are 7 cages, each having to have a different total and each having to have a prime total. So now we should work out what the highest total we could possibly have is going to be, which is presumably going to be that cage, which looks like it is the only 5-cell cage. So now if we had repeated digits in here, we couldn't have more than 3, 4, 5 there, could we? And we couldn't have more than 4, 5 there because they're in the same column. So the absolute maximum this cage adds up to is 12 plus 9, which is 21. Now 21 is not prime. There is a knowledge bomb for you. 21 is not a prime number. So the maximum this cage could add up to is 19 is the next lowest prime number if we can't get to 21. 20 is not prime, obviously. Yeah, there's no way any of these other cages can add up to as much as 19. So 19 is the maximum prime, and the minimum prime is going to be 3, I think. That could be a 1-2 pair, and that could be 3. So we need some subset of the primes between 3 and 19. So, how many primes are there between 3 and 19? 19, 17. Not 15, Simon. 13, 11. 7, 5, 3. There are only 7. Right, so either I've made a mistake or there are only 7. What is the sum of 19 and 17, 36, 49, 60? Right, it's 75. Okay, so that's very cool. So is that okay? This is the discovery then. This must be what people have. That's really interesting and weird. So 75 is the total of the grid, and it could be divided into exactly the primes: 19, 17, 13, 11, 7, 5, and 3. That's really cool, isn't it? So now that must be the 3 cage, because we know we need a cage that adds to 3. And the only way you can make Sudoku digits add to 3 if there's more than one of them is if they are a 1-2 pair. So that must be a 1-2 pair because it's the only 2-cell cage. So this is a 1-2 pair. These squares are 3, 4, and 5. And now we need a 5 cage, don't we? And many of these cages cannot contain digits that sum to 5. That can't be a 5 cage. That can't be a 5 cage. That can't be a 5 cage because these 3 digits all have to be different, so they're going to add up to at least 6. So hang on, which is the 5 cage? It's probably that one. That can't be a 5 cage. Got to be a bit careful because you can repeat digits. So in theory, although I see this doesn't work, you could have that cage, although it's 4 cells, could have summed to 6, which is really strange. But this can't be a 5 cage because those 2 digits are already at least a 3 and a 4. So this cage is a 5 cage, which means there must be a repeated digit in it, because if these were all different, 1 plus 2 plus 3 is already 6. And the only way you can repeat a digit is if you repeat those 2 digits. So either this is double 1 and a 3, or it's double 2, and a 1. And now these squares are a 3, 4, 5 triple because of the 1-2 pair here. Now, do we look for... Maybe we look for the 7 cage now. Yeah, that's not a bad thought. That can't be the 7 cage, because again, these 2 are at least 3 and 4 on their own, and once we add a positive integer here, we're going to get to more than 7, aren't we? That can't be a 7 cage. That can't be a 7 cage. You can see that because 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the minimum for those 4 cells, so that's at least a 10 cage, although it won't add up to 10, because 10 isn't prime. So, right, so the 7 cage is either this one, which would be 1, 2, 3, along the bottom and a 1 here, and that won't work, so it's this one. Right, so let's look at this cage. Let me explain. If this was the 7 cage, the only way it could be constituted is if we make those bottom 3 digits 1, 2 and 3, because they add up to 6, and make this a 1. But look at this column now. Where are we putting 4 and 5 in this column? Nowhere. Well, one of them can go there, but the second one couldn't go in. So that doesn't work. So this is not the 7 cage. This is the 7 cage. Right. This is lovely, actually. This is lovely because how on earth do you make these digits add up to 7? Especially looking at these 2 digits. These cannot be a 1-2 pair. The absolute least they could be would be a 1-3 pair. So the minimum sum of these is 4. They can't be a 1-2 pair because then, again, we'd have 3 digits. There's 3 cells in this row selected from 2 different digits. Now that will force one of those digits to repeat and break the sort of sudoku elements here. So the minimum sum of these squares is a 1 and a 3, allowing this to be 2, which makes this 4. And these can't be less than a 1-2 pair, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So that's right. So now I get a digit. That's got to be a 2. That's got to be a 1. That's a 2. Right, so we know that that's a repeated digit. So we've got all sorts going on now. We might have to do Sudoku. Right, what on earth is this? We've got to make sure. Right, we've got to make sure that this is prime. So that's got to be odd. Because 3, 4 and 5 I know add up to an even number. So that's 12, isn't it? So this can't be 16. That's got to be 17. I was about to cancel 5 out from all of those squares, but that's not how this works. Right, so this is a 4 now. But okay, it's going to be the same thing here. Okay, we can use the sort of secret that exists in this puzzle, can't we? So we know the column adds up to 15. So we have to deduct this digit from 15 to get to a prime number. Now, if we deduct 1 from 15, we get 14. 14's even. That cannot be right. So we've got to deduct 2. So this is 1, this is 1, this is 3. That's not 3. These squares are 2, 4, and 5. These, oh, we need a 1 in this row. Or this column, sorry. It's got to go at the top. So this is 3 or 5, and this should be 13, which it is. And what was this one? This was 17, wasn't it? And we need a 19. Does that has to be, oh, should I have just gone here straight away? Yeah, I should, shouldn't I? Why? Why do I do things backwards? Yes, because we worked out that this was the only cage that could get to 19. And once we did the calculation of the primes we needed, one of those primes had to be 19. I suppose there might have been different ways of getting to 19, though. But there probably aren't now, because those squares add up to 11. So these have to add up to 8. So this can't be 4, because that would be another 4. So this is a 3, 5 pair. That's what we're learning. This is now 4, that's a 3, that's a 5. I'm going to have to work out what this cage adds up to. That's a 2. So this is a 2 by Sudoku. That's a 3, 5 pair. So this is 4, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5. And that's a 4. So that's a 3. Oh, that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Right, so this cage is an 11 cage, and we needed one of those. That's beautiful. What a lovely puzzle. So let's just check. We've got a 3 cage, a 5 cage. Let's give them all different colours. 3, 5, then a 7. And now we should have an 11, which was that one. And then we should have a 13, which was the 13? Oh, that one was 13. And then we need a 17, which was that one. And finally, we have the 19, which is that one. That's beautiful. Shintaro, that is a beautiful puzzle. A lot of people are going to find that lovely, actually, because I think that's very approachable. It's one of the shortest videos I've had for a while, and I thank you for that on this very hot day. But what I love about easy puzzles, or easier puzzles, is when they still make you think. And this did make us think. You know, we still had to do the arithmetic. We had to understand the set of primes we were looking for. And then we could just fill in the Sudoku. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Loved it. Take a bow. And let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.